What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Formula One True North, the Canadian Formula One podcast. And we are here with the boys. We're back here with Drew, Edward, Thomas. I just learned how to say Drew's last name. I'm going to see if I can get it right. Izard.
Nailed it.
All right, there we go. It only took a year and a half. But here we are. We're coming off a bye week, so no race to recap. Finally heading into Austin, getting a race, something to look forward to because I feel it's been a long-ass drought. But we're back, almost.
It's lights out and away we go.
But looking forward, obviously we're going into Austin. It's a sprint weekend. We have a tight title race on our hands as well. And of the last 6 races this year, 3 of them are sprint weekends. So, it could definitely, I remember when we started talking about sprint races and weekends in previous episodes and seasons, we were kind of lamenting the sprint race weekend and the format and how it kind of ruined the flow of that traditional Grand Prix weekend. But here we are. We got a tight championship, both in the constructors and the drivers, and the sprint weekends have a real chance at making a significant difference in that title fight. So really quickly, Drew, what's your initial thoughts? What are you looking forward to either this weekend or all the sprint weekends? What do you think the impact's going to be?
Listen, the sprint weekends, they came about in 2021. And obviously, as a Formula One fan, I wasn't sure how this new gimmick was going to play out. As things have progressed, especially in this most recent season, the current season, 2024, I've actually really enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a shakeup from the monotony of a normal weekend. It allows me to get excited over a couple of days in the weekend. And I think it shakes up what the teams are allowed to do in a weekend, having only that one practice session before they get right into sprint qualies. And I think that it just changes the dynamic a little bit, especially as fast as these cars are changing week in and week out. And it gives the viewers another race to watch. And as much as I hated at the beginning, they're really starting to grow on me. And I'm looking forward to it. And the fact that we have 6 races left and we have 3 sprint races, I'm here for it, especially as you mentioned, because it's such a tight championship race for the driver's championship. It's going to come down to a handful of points. And if, Lando can pull off a sprint win and a Red Bull DNFs, that could really make a big change, right? So I think that, even though the sprint races don't hand out as many points as a normal Grand Prix does, I still think there's a place for it. And until they come up with something better and more entertaining, because ultimately this is all about money. Let's get real. It's all about excitement, money. That's what it's 100% about. Until they come up with another gimmick to change things up, I'm here for it. What do you got on that one, Ed?
I'm the same. The more wheel-to-wheel action you actually get, I find that it's actually more exciting. And not only from a wheel-to-wheel standpoint, but also for the drivers too. Because now you're not just thinking, I've done my quick laps, I've done the setup for qualifying and for free practice, which is my favorite. But you're now looking at it from a standpoint of, I'm battling these people, or I'm battling my the other drivers, other teams, and you're now looking into drafting. You're looking into how the aerodynamics react with the other cars on the grid, and still trying to get the performance out of your setup. So for me, from a engineering and mechanical standpoint, and for the race as well, I love it. I guess not a lot of people like that because it breaks the tradition of the the weekend, but I think it's a fantastic idea. More wheel-to-wheel action for the fans. That's what they're looking for. That's what I'm looking for. So bring it on. And if it does change the championship, great. I'm still rooting for my boy Lando Norris to win it all this year. Tomas, what do you think?
So I'm kind of both agree and disagree with you guys. I at first, when sprint started, I thought, kind of what you guys thought, or what I thought, was going to be great, kind of breaks up the weekend, more racing, wheel to wheel action. But then slowly, somehow, I caught myself not really tuning in or watching the sprints as much as I thought I would. And, I keep on asking myself, that question, why is it not entertaining? Well, no, there is entertaining sprints and there is not entertaining sprints. Same with the GP. but I didn't really catch on to the vibe. To Ed's points again, it kind of breaks away from the tradition, and I'm not as pumped. It seems kind of like just another side gimmick, and per se doesn't really add too much value in my eyes. I just can't really tune in and enjoy it as much as I should. Now, having said that, with the last 3 sprint races remaining, those should be interesting sprint races just because, every team is going to try to get maximum points, even though it's not full points, but every point is going to, count towards the final till the end. So these 3 sprint races, I think I am going to tune in and actually watch them and see, what to expect. But other than that, yeah, I'm for the original format of it. I prefer no sprint races. I prefer just the practice sessions and the GP and that's it. So that's where I stand.
So we got Thomas, who's a purist here. Drew's for you're all about it right now. I think one of the things that made the sprint a little bit more enjoyable or palatable for me this year was the changing of the regulations and allowing them to not have Parc Fermé be, enforced after that first practice session. Because I think trying to set up your car for a Grand Prix and a sprint race is pretty difficult when you look at the demands of both of those races, right? So I think being able to set the car up again, for qualifying for the GP and having those 2 essentially setups for the cars, I think made it a lot more interesting and gave teams a chance to really feel things out. And if they didn't get it right at the sprint race, they could make some adjustments, they could learn and kind of, I don't want to say use it as a practice session, but I think that added a lot of value to teams to making the Sundays more competitive. I was just looking at the points right now between Verstappen and Norris. There is currently a 52-point spread between the 2 of them. I did some quick math on what those sprint results have contributed towards, and they've given Max an additional 15 points. If you look at, where he's won and where Lando is placed, it's additional 15 points. So it certainly hasn't made his championship, or it hasn't broken his made Lando's chances infinitely better at this point. But it'll be interesting to see where the season ends up after 6 races, if that 15 points really makes a big swing. And also considering that, there are potentially another, 24 points for, 24 points for the winner to collect as well. So I think, given there's only 52 points in between the 2, I think, the last 3 sprints, in addition to obviously the 6 Grand Prix, can probably make a really big difference in this championship. So it'll be, I think they might start to come in their own, and maybe this is what the sprints were made for. Maybe they were there to add like a little extra firepower to the competitiveness. Obviously we talk about like the monetary value of them and the media and the marketing side of it. But, if it can bring a championship closer with 6 races left, I'm not mad about it. Like, we all remember how much fun 2021 was when, Max and Lewis ended that last, were tied that last race. I mean, the chances for that were ridiculous. And I think we might be heading in a similar direction with Lando and Max. So lots to look forward to. Based on what we've seen this year, I think I know Thomas's answer, but based on what we've seen this year, would you be in favor of adding more sprint races to the calendar?
So I think, with the way sprint races go, we have 6 this year out of 24 races. So that's a quarter of them have it. I think that there's got to be a balance. I might go up to a 33%, like a 1 in 3 races kind of thing. But like even 1 in 4 is probably pushing it, because I think that there's an element to it that adds just a switch up to a normal Grand Prix weekend. Because like you go from a 305 kilometer race or plus minus to a 100-kilometer sprint race. And so that's, anywhere from 15 to 20 laps in a car. There's no mandatory pit stops. So these guys just pelt it. It's real wheel-to-wheel racing and in its truest form. And, obviously the qualities for the sprint race are equally as competitive as they are for the Grand Prix. And so you're just adding another race, albeit, a 33% race to the weekend. And I just don't know if adding another set of those to that already 24 race calendar is going to be where the sport needs to go. I just don't think that the additional races hold as much value as the traditional Grand Prix. And so I think that, you know, going forward, I wouldn't push it any more than where they got it right now. Like, it would just be too much.
Yeah, I totally agree on that one because it's tiring. Because can you imagine if for every race or sprint race rather that there would be a crash and they would have to scramble, oh no, we don't have a car, or like something might break in the car or break the engine and then they have to replace the engine and then it's a dock on their standings and they'll get a race penalty out of it, so on and so forth. So there's a lot. I mean, very entertaining one side, and this is where Tomas kind of like comes in. That very entertaining, yes, but the margin of error for you to be able to get into an accident or a mishap or blow your engine or anything, or for that matter, which would destroy the entire weekend. Yeah, it increases the chances of that happening. So to your question, Walker, like to add it, nah, leave it as it is. It just adds that extra flavor into the season, adds that extra competition. But beyond that, I mean, every team right now is already complaining we have too many races on the schedule for the year. And if you add another set of sprint races, adds another set of like headaches for them, it might snowball and people might start leaving or teams might start leaving.
Yeah, not much else to add. I think the way it is right now, I think it's totally fine. You know, to what Ed said, essentially adding more races is definitely a headache for the drivers because, you know, as we all know, they all complained how it's already a pretty packed calendar, and then, you know, God forbid something happens with the car or the engine or there's an accident, and, you know, what Ed said, it basically ruins their whole weekend. You know, just repeating kind of what the guy said, adding more sprint races won't really, I don't see it adding any more value to the sport. It would be too repetitive and I think diluted, and it wouldn't feel like Formula One anymore, honestly. It would just be a very plain, obvious cash grab. I think that's what I would see it as.
You know, it'd be sick. Okay, tell me you guys think of this idea. Keep the sprint races the same, have 6 per year. However, all the sprint races, they are raced with spec cars owned and provided by the FIA. Even playing field, teams don't have to worry about, you know, equipment, engines, chassis. It's just spec cars, drivers going out there, equal machinery.
Let's do it one better. Let's put them back into go-karts.
I thought about that.
Because then the money isn't a thing. Because I was like, yeah, I agree with you. Cool idea. But I was like, now they got to travel around with another car, and it's just like a whole thing. What are you going to have?
Cars. I just throw them in F2 cars. Like some spec F2 cars that the FIA, or even FIA can afford it. They can bring 20 cars to the race 6 times a year.
I can get behind that.
I think they were even thinking of doing a sprint race just for the rookies too. That they mentioned that in one of the podcasts I've listened to, or was it on Instagram or whatnot. But yeah, that's a fantastic idea because now it reduces the margin of error. It evens out the playing field because no one has, like, you know, higher budget, so on and so forth. You'll never know. Haas could be like the winner and sweep all the sprint races, or even Alpine or Sauber. So
the spec car is the ultimate equalizer.
Yes,
I like that. Just throw like a livery on like an F3 car and just like have them rep. I think the drivers would really enjoy that too.
I think
they like a little more analog, like a little more like visceral. I don't really know, but I think they could really get behind this.
FIA, do it up. You heard it.
Does the FIA have a suggestion box that we can just slip something in there? Hey, listen, we got some guys from Canada. They're all right, I guess. Here's an idea.
Right? Slide into their DMs, Drew.
Let's do it.
You can do it.
Or into the Discord. They might be, they might message us on the Discord.
We don't need people to pitch us the idea. We need what we need to get in? We need to infiltrate the Formula One group chat, the drivers group chat.
Yes.
So what's up? That's what we need to do.
Just join that.
It backwards.
Hey guys,
think you get in there,
buddy. 6 degrees of land stroll. We got to be able to figure that out.
Yes,
Being
100%.
Canadian, absolutely. There's 6 degrees of stroll here somewhere. We just got to figure it out. So, all right. So we're going to roll into our next race, Austin Sprint Weekend. Let's talk about the race because it's nice to be able to talk about a race again. It's been a few weeks, as I mentioned. We got the sprint coming up, as we just discussed. Tight title fight. Constructors are heating up. So much going on. And it's Austin, which is just a spectacle in and of itself. So, Drew, what are you looking forward to this week?
I want to talk about the elephant in the room. We got Liam Lawson back. So, like, talk about an ultimate form of pressure for you. Now you've kicked out arguably one of F1's favorite drivers as voted on by the fans only. But now Lawson has to show up in that car and spank Yuki Tsunoda. And unfortunately, he did a little bit of that before, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he has to offer now that he's been in. He's put some time in to the simulator. He's been very integral on taking that AlphaTauri around the track during free practice. But I think that he is the highlight of what I'm looking for at COTA for this weekend.
I mean, I'm really looking forward to what he can really do because that kid is hungry. He's been just like at it with, the Red Bull organization. Guys, either give me a drive or I'm gonna leave. So this would be the test for him if he can actually get a seat in 2025 and, be that reason for Helmut Marko to be like, that's right, I told you so. He was the right one. It wasn't supposed to be Ricardo. So super excited for this. But the other side of the coin is just like, can he really perform? I mean, he already showed up last year. It was okay. He scored the points, but I don't know. I'd really like to see what he shows up in COTA. So looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to the race itself. It's been way too long. Looking forward to all the rookies coming out there or going out there and performing and seeing what they can do. This is my highlight. I am expecting a very entertaining and an interesting race. So yeah, that's all I'm looking forward, and I hope they don't disappoint. I hope they bring their A game, their best A game, and score some points. That'd be nice to see.
What are the chances Liam gets absolutely dominated by Yuki? Like, we've been
Very
building
high.
up Liam for a year now, talking about this boy deserves a chance. Like, he needs to come in. He drove well. Get Danny out of there. He's a has-been, et cetera, et cetera. What happens if he comes in and he just shits the bed for the last 6 races? And now Red Bull, Cash App are just like shrug emoji. Like, what do you do?
I think the odds are pretty high. Like, I don't imagine him getting it. Like, okay, so what are we talking about? Are we talking about him beating Yuki or just being better than Danny? Because I think that being better than Danny is way more attainable than beating Yuki. I know that that's not a huge margin that he's dealing with. Like, to be better than Yuki isn't that much harder. But I don't know if he's going to jump in that car and be more competitive than Yuki. I hope he does for his sake, because that would make everybody at Red Bull very happy. And if he doesn't, like you said, Walker, they're going to be absolutely gutted because they put all their eggs in this basket halfway through the season.
I don't think better than Daniel is an option, frankly, because you're losing Daniel, who is, he's got money behind him, he's got the personality, he's got the marketing, et cetera, and you have Liam, who, for all intents and purposes, in the F1 scope of things, is broke, right? He doesn't bring a lot of money, he doesn't bring a lot of sponsors, he's just there on he's there on talent, which is amazing, but I think he has to absolutely dominate that team and really show that he deserves a place there, because if not, there are a lot of guys that are probably just as good as Danny at this point that can come in with more money, more sponsorships, more opportunities, and that's, as we all know, a massive part of staying in your seat in Formula One. Ed?
Well, that's the problem though. At this point, like, if, let's say, Liam Lawson does not perform, and you're right, Walker, the floor of Liam's career right now is beating Tsunoda. Daniel Ricciardo is not even supposed to be in the conversation at this point because they know that he's supposed to be better. But if he gets spanked by Tsunoda, Marco is going to be in trouble. And on top of that, the roster right now, there's no one there that's going to replace Liam Lawson. There is absolutely the best one that they have which would probably be a year or 2 years too early, is one of their drivers in F3. And that's it. They don't have a roster. Liam Lawson is their final piece or their final chess piece. If this doesn't work, yeah. I probably would even if might be far-fetched, I would probably see Christian Horner trying to talk to George Russell and bringing him on. And that's like super far-fetched because they've put themselves in a situation right now that they have no recourse. They have no other options at this point. So Liam Lawson, everything is on him. And you're right, Drew. The pressure is on him right now, not just being for himself, but for the rest of the organization.
The pressure is unreal for Liam. Part of it is I think Visa Cash App did a huge mistake doing what they did in regards to getting rid of Daniel and putting Liam in essentially mid-season or near the end of the season. I think that was a stupid move. In regards to Liam, I don't know, man. I have faith. I think he's going to kill it. I think he's going to beat Tsunoda. I think he's going to be better than Daniel. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. He's putting pressure on himself as well to perform. He has to perform. Essentially you took someone else's seat and all eyes are on you. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I think he's going to go out there and he's going to kill it. And he's, what we've seen in the past when he covered for someone, he's going to bring his A game and he's going to surprise us all and he's going to dominate. And I think we're all, Ed and Drew, you're going to eat your words and I'm going to say, I told you so. So let's go, Liam.
Alrighty.
Oh shit.
I also didn't say he was going to do terribly. I was just making a statement that he better do well. Otherwise, it's not a good look. But I'll take it. Sure.
Yeah, you're all putting so much pressure on the guy. I mean, yeah, there is a lot of pressure, but I feel like you're almost writing him off. I don't know why.
I'm not writing him off.
No. We're not writing him off. But there is a lot of pressure on him.
There's a ton of pressure. If he fails,
he's gone.
You canned a hero of the sport for many of the new fans, and you've taken him, thrown him in the garbage, and you've replaced him for this, a little bit better than a maybe. He was a maybe before, and now he's had a few races when Danny got hurt, and he showed up moderately well, better than people expected. But is he like the next big thing? I don't think so. He's had a little bit more time in the sim. He's had a little bit more time to kind of gel with the team and the family at Red Bull. Maybe that'll help him out a little bit, but look at Colapinto. When he came in, he absolutely slapped it. He was going toe-to-toe with Alex Albon, who is a fantastic driver in a mediocre car at best. And if Colapinto can come in and do that, I would hope nothing less than the same apples to apples with Yuki and Lawson.
I think Thomas just wants to fight somebody.
I think so too.
It's the glasses, dude.
Wearing glasses like that, you better be prepared to fight no matter where you go.
Zero F's given at this point. Like he doesn't care.
I don't know. I think when you put essentially someone also new in the team like that doesn't have experience, I think they come a little bit more, or with no baggage, I should say, and they're just way more open to learning and taking criticism and just performing better. Sometimes how you just throw in that new person, the new person performs better than the old person because they don't have any of that experience. They see everything from a different point of view. So I don't know. That's where I am with Liam Lawson. I think he kind of fits that way. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how the race is going to go. Just, hoping for the guy. And I don't know why, but I do expect great things of him. And I think he's going to perform amazing. So that's my 2 cents.
Did you guys see the clip of Christian Horner? And I forget which interview it was. He's talking about the departure of Daniel, and he's like, well, if Liam doesn't really do his job, and if Checo doesn't really do his job, we know what Daniel can do. Just kind of like dangling that out there, leaving it out there. Is he just like, what is he doing? Like, what's the point of this? A, do you think there's any validity to it? Three-part question. A, do you think there's any validity to it? B, what do you think would have to happen between Checo and Liam for that switch to happen? Like, how badly would they have to perform? And C, if you're Daniel Ricciardo, you come crawling back?
I would love to step in here.
Please.
One, I think there's no validity to that. I think that there's a portion of how bad can Checo do worse than he's already done. So I don't know if he seems like the unfireable driver. And would I come back if Christian Horner came and said, "Hey, Danny, we're so sorry, but we want to put you back on that second seat of Red Bull because you're better than Checo"? I think he's better than Checo right now. Like, I think he would have done better over the 2024 season up until now in that Red Bull car. Would he have done light years better? I don't think so, but I think he would have done better. I think all those DNFs, crashes, all that kind of stuff, Danny would have definitely pulled out some more points than Checo has been. I think it's a money problem again. I think it all comes down to his Mexican pesos that he brings with him. Would I, if I was Danny? Nah, I wouldn't. Just ride off in the sunset with your cowboy hat, your handlebar mustache, and all your fucking money, bro.
Couldn't have said it any better than that. Just to add salt to the wound, like even Tsunoda, I think, would beat Checo right now. Even Tsunoda. Like,
I agree.
I it's just like absolutely annoying at this point what Checo is doing. And the Checo that I knew from Racing Point that did the win in Yas Marina from last to first, that Checo is gone. Not even there anymore. So, yeah. Like, and please, Danny Rick, if you are listening to our podcast, please listen to
Give
Drew.
me some money.
He gave
Cut
us
me a
sound
check.
advice.
Yeah.
We'll come work for you.
Yeah.
We'll come work for you. We'll make you look good. Especially with the Canadian audience. We'll make you look good. Tomas?
We'll get rid of Thomas, and you can have his. You can be.
Ouch. Okay, I guess I'll just leave right now. Damn. Okay.
Well, we can't
know how
replace you
feel
halfway through
about
the
that.
season. We're
Okay,
better
cool.
than VCARB, buddy.
Are we?
Are we?
You know what? Never mind. I'll leave. I'll take one for the team.
No, to what Christian's saying is there's no validity. Checo is a garbage driver right now. I'm sorry to say it. There's no other words. See, he's trash, and we all know he brings in sponsors. He brings in money for Red Bull, which is fine. But what Ed said, what the fuck are you doing, Checo? You're annoying to watch at this point. GTFO, like, and if Corner, would actually say, "Hey, Checo, we were wrong. Can you please come back to us?" Or sorry, if Horner would say, to Danny, "Hey, Danny, we were wrong. Can you please come back to us?" I'd be like, "No." It's the same to Drew's point. No, like I'm done with Formula One. I'm done with you guys. I'm not taking this. This opportunity anymore because we kind of have a good idea where it most likely would end up again. Red Bull wouldn't like something again, or he wouldn't be performing again to their standards. And why go through something like that again? It's just not worth it.
I just want to point out for all the listeners out there that in Thomas's critique of Checo, you started off by calling him garbage, and you said there are no other words, and then you followed up with trash, piece of shit, and get the fuck out. So.
There are other
lots
words.
of words. Yeah, apparently.
Words.
They're all four-letter
According to
words.
Thomas.
Choice words.
Yeah. But hold on. Before we move on from COTA, can we go and touch on one thing that is clearly needed to be talked about? We're back in a championship drivers fight again. Like, Lando and Max are going to go toe-to-toe because the last 6 races, especially because they're sprint races, they need to be on fire. There is a big, big prize at the end of this. That one race swing, a DNF or whatever, can change everything here. So I'm pumped about that. Like, we actually have a championship fight. Like, this isn't a 200 and something point runaway going into the last 6 races of the season and 3 being sprint races. There's lots of points up for grab, and I'm all the way here for it. Who you guys got?
Do I have to say it?
We know who you got. Okay.
There you go.
Moving
So let's go to Tomas on this one.
Top three, though. Top three.
Repeat the question because my screen just cut out, so I not get that.
Podium for this weekend.
For this weekend podium. Okay. I'm going to say Leclerc, Lando, and...
All right, I'll go next. Lando, Piastri, Max.
Obviously.
Yeah, he has to. He has to.
That's
For the Oracle
That's
to
no
Oracle,
choice.
he needs to.
You
Yeah, he
guys
needs
don't
that
even have to
happen.
ask. From here on out, it's Lando and Piastri. That's it. Doesn't matter. Whoever's third, I don't really care.
Zero
So,
critical thinking or analysis.
No,
Just straight
no,
up.
no. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe
Okay.
in those boys. I believe in the team. They're gonna win it this year. I'm gonna hold on to that.
I'm gonna go Oscar, Max, Lando.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lando. Although I don't know why, but I got a feeling he's just gonna fuck something up this weekend. I got Charles, and Russell. That's what I've
I
got.
figured George was
Yeah.
gonna hit your podium. I'm happy about that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna go Lewis, but I was like, no, I gotta change it up.
Yeah, that's fair.
I gotta change
I
it.
mean,
Can't
he
be
did
an Ed.
perform in Spa.
Yep.
Like
100%.
Russell performed in Spa, so it's almost the same layout. Like lots of fast corners, lots of good straights, and who knows, he may do the tire whisperer again.
Yeah, I think, Lando, I have him down winning the Grand Prix, but I just hope he can come off this break focused, with his shit together, confident. We talked about confidence, right? We talked
Yes.
about like having that kind of killer like belief in yourself. And I was listening to a podcast or something over the last few weeks, and they talked about like how he talks on the radio and how he kind of has like there's self-doubt and he takes the blame, which is great from like a leadership perspective in a lot of ways. But is he able to kind of like recalibrate and come back as that absolute killer on track? And I hope he is. But I would not be surprised if they get something wrong this weekend. Strategy-wise, driver-wise, I'm not sure. But fingers crossed for Lando, because I want to see this championship tighten up. And even though, I think given how close it is right now, I wouldn't even be mad if Max won. Because I feel like this would be probably one of the, 2021 not included, because he still drove great that season. I feel like this would be one of the most recent ones where he's actually earned it, right? He's been fighting with the car. He's still found a way to come across. So I wouldn't be mad if he won, but it'd be nice to see it tighten up a bit, and we'll see what happens at the end.
Let's take this quick pause here and plug Formula One True North, the Discord channel. If you guys haven't yet, please jump into the show notes. There'll be a link there. Join the Discord. It's all the Formula One talk you could ever want, need. We got all kinds of stuff in there, upcoming races, social media stuff going on, a bunch of people in there all having a good time, all based around Formula One. If you're not into Discord, that's cool. We got you on all the other socials. We got Instagram, we got TikTok, we got YouTube, the whole kit. So if you're listening to this somewhere, jump on the YouTube. You know what? Maybe not. Because sometimes when I go and see podcast guys and I actually see their faces, it's one of those like don't meet your heroes thing. It gets me all thrown off. So if you're listening to us, just keep listening to us. We appreciate that. And if you're on YouTube, you already seen our ugly mugs, so stick around. Hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it.
Nice.
Your plugs have been getting like really weird lately. Like first they got a little desperate for a while, and now they're a little insulting. I'm really not sure how to take this. You should go to YouTube, however, and get a look at Thomas for no other reason.
Yes.
Like
I agree.
Me, Drew, Ed, like whatever. Yeah, actually, Ed's got like a sick background, so go take a look at Ed too. Drew and I are just fucking basic bitches over here, but these two, they are bringing it every single week. So go check out YouTube, and
you will not be disappointed.
It's for damn sure. And for those in the Greater Toronto area, we might have a really exciting announcement coming out in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Come to the Discord, check it out, because that's the only way you're going to find out. But something really exciting coming up that we will hopefully announce very soon. Now, boys, there's only one way to end this episode. An episode like that.
It's okay, Thomas. It's okay.
With our favorite game, Name That Sponsor.
Hey-o.
Sprint Edition.
Ooh.
Okay. So, this is how it's going to work. Like every week, I'm going to name 3 sponsors. You're going to tell me which car they are on and what that company does. This week, we have chosen sponsors from Sprint winning cars dating back to 2021.
Oh, wow.
So these sponsors were on a car, on a team. They won a sprint race sometime between 2021 and 2024. 3 years of sprint winners. you have to choose from and sprint winning cars. Are you guys ready?
No.
Never. But sure, let's do this.
First up is Arrow.
I am going to say shipping company, and I am going to say McLaren.
I will go with the clothing company, Red Bull.
It is on McLaren and do I go? Yeah, logistics. Fuck, I have to. I panicked, boys. I panicked.
You know what? It's a safe answer. It's not the right one, but Arrow is on McLaren, McLaren. And Arrow Electronics is a global provider of technology products and services specializing in electronic components, enterprise computing, and in artificial intelligence. So there you go.
Wow.
All right. And they were on McLaren. Specifically, they were on Oscar Piastri's sprint winning car from last
His very
year,
first win.
2023. His very first win.
Nice.
Okay. We like you.
There we go. Our second sponsor is AMD.
I am going to say Mercedes and software office company.
Mercedes, they are a semiconductor company, but they mainly create computer components like CPU chips and graphics cards.
All right.
That is wildly specific, so I appreciate your confidence on that, sir. I am also going to go with Mercedes, and they are an AI tech computing.
Okay, so they are on Mercedes. Point all around for that. And Ed, you're correct. CPU, computer chips, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think we can give Drew the point. Bonus point, though. Who was the winner of the sprint race?
George Russell. Nope, Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas.
Hamilton.
Would you say Ed?
Hamilton.
Look at Drew. Picking up the pieces. Valtteri Bottas.
Was it São Paulo 2021?
It was São Paulo 2021.
Yo.
I think that
Also-
deserves an extra point.
Boy's good.
That was
I think
actually
that one-
also the Italian Grand Prix in 2021.
I
It
don't
was
recall
interesting.
that.
Of all
Okay.
the sprint races, there have only been 5 different winners.
Crazy.
5 different winners. Last one, CDW.
I'm going to say Ferrari clothing company.
Ferrari software company.
I'm going to say they're on McLaren and they're a computer sales company.
Can you be more specific with computer sales company?
They sell computers.
Like a Dell?
Not like a Dell company, no, but they sell other people's computers.
Like a Best Buy?
Kinda. More so Best Buy than Dell.
Okay, well, you're wrong. So
Either of those
CDW.
answered matter. What if I said it was like a Dell? Would that have been right?
Well,
No?
I'm gonna read what they do, and you can tell me how close you were.
All right.
So CDW is on Red Bull, specifically Sergio Perez's 2023 Azerbaijan sprint weekend win, and they are, where are they here? God damn it, I lost my page. CDW Corporation is an American technology company headquartered in Vernon Hills, Illinois, that provides technology products and services for businesses, government, and education.
Okay.
So I don't really think that counts.
I wouldn't give it to
Oh,
me.
you know what? CDW can help expand your work from home strategy so employees can achieve more in more places. Brands: Apple, Lenovo, Toshiba, LG,
What?
Acer. I don't know.
Actually, it was right. I think
Well,
it
I
was
don't know.
right there.
We'll take a vote. We
I
gotta
think
take
it
a vote.
There you go.
No, I think it was right
can't
there.
vote. I got to recuse myself from this vote.
Well, yeah, you can't vote.
Yeah, I think we should give it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was a lucky guess. So sorry, was it more Dell or Best Buy? All right. Yeah, so the only sprint winners so far have been Max, Valtteri, George, Sergio, and Oscar. That's it.
Wow.
Well, Hamilton
That's
has a
a
Valtteri
long
actually
one.
has, Max has
Oh,
had
okay.
10, Valtteri has had 2, and then George, Sergio, and Oscar have all had 1. So there you go. There you have it. Maybe it's Lando's turn.
Maybe.
Maybe he won't fudge
Maybe.
it up this time.
I like it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Anyway,
Super
so
looking
current
forward
score is Drew with 21 points. We have Ed with 14. Thomas, another positive week, buddy. You're no goose eggs. You're coming in at 9.
Okay. He's
All
only
right.
to it.
five
True,
back from
I'm
Eddie.
getting
That's not bad.
closer.
It's heating
Yeah.
up.
Well, when there's
heating up.
6
Getting
available every week,
Yeah,
buddy, you're only a week away from the goods.
you're only a week away. That's it. You can do it.
I will do it. I will catch up. I don't know if I'll get first place, but I'm gunning for that second, Ed. So watch your back, boy.
You just gotta really look at the cars when they're racing
Okay.
this weekend. Just like really peer into them. Exactly. All right, boys. This was fun. Thank you everyone for listening. This has been Formula One True North, the Canadian One Formula One podcast. Don't forget, check us out, all the socials, all the podcast channels, and we will back next week recapping Austin. Ciao for now.
Yo.
It's lights out and away we go.